Hey, this is Darling Chuck for All Day Play FM. DJ culture is exciting right now because it's more accessible. It allows especially more women to start, which is exciting for me because I want more of us to be here. There's so many other lanes too. I mean, when I started, it was like 11 years ago, it was like doing clubs or doing weddings, mobile gigs and stuff, and now there's so much more you can do. Like, you can stream, you can go at a restaurant, you can do an apartment set. Like, there's so many lanes. But you know, with that comes more people. I think we have to remind ourselves that there's a culture that comes to this, and this is a craft, and this is a community space. Yeah, I think that that is probably where most DJs are probably annoyed right now, that there's a lot of new faces, but I mean, I think it's exciting. There's so much room for all of us. For me personally, I do have, it's my personal standard. I think I'm so lucky that I was born and raised here. I think we were exposed to the best music, the best people, the best selectors, the best culture, and I try to bring that with me to New York. I think that's probably, like, you know, what makes it exciting for me is I can bridge the East and West Coast styles of DJing. I do consider myself an open format DJ, so I do enjoy the open format parties, but because, you know, most open format DJs have such a range, it's nice to have a theme once in a while so that it kind of like zeroes in on like what the night is going to be about. It also depends on the room. I like theme parties because it's, I mean, it makes it fun. I do a lot of experiential events in New York, and you know, it'll be some like 80s Andy Warhol, you know, Basquiat type theme, and so, like, you know, I get to dig for music from during that era and discover new music, and it's kind of feels like an assignment when it's a theme. So that's what makes it fun for me. But I always try to make it my own. So I can stay within a theme, but as I'm still gonna put my own spin on it. Playing familiar things, which is what most people, I think, want to hear, is something that I enjoy because of the reception I get from it. So if I'm in a room full of people who I kind of sense that they want to hear like some more familiar things, but yet I want to play what I want to play, and I try to find like a happy medium. I like all types of music. I mean, if it sounds good, then I like it. I'm gonna play it. Whatever set time I'm playing, I like to show up early because I like to see how the party grows and changes throughout the night, and how the crowds change. I can experiment more when I'm playing an opening set, which is nice because sometimes you'll have like a nice dig day and you want to like try out some songs. Like, opening set's the best time to try that. And you know, closing set is like everyone is where they're supposed to be at the time of the night. Everyone's at the level that they're at, and you're kind of just meeting them where they're at the closing set, and then just bringing it down and taking them home. And then of course, you know, the prime time set is when you can just like really show off and take advantage of the height of the party. Touring a Duran Duran, their fans are just fans for life, and you know, it's also the generation of people who lived without phones and lived without like all these other like new technologies that we have, and so their fans are so much more in the moment. They have such a plethora of music that they've consumed in their time in their lives, and so touring Duran Duran was awesome because the crowd was just so open with like all types of things. And when I'm touring with them, I like to play you know, familiar stuff that they know. You know, basically like stuff that they might have discovered in MTV in the 80s. You know, so it's nice to go back in that bag, and everyone is just so happy to be there. You know, especially, you know, at this time of their lives, and it's just a nice exchange with the crowd, and Duran Duran is awesome. They're very nice people. Technically, I'm doing a lot more quick mixes and playing a lot more hits so that people can like get hyped up. When I'm doing these shows, I'm there to hype up the crowd and make them feel seen and get them warmed up and ready for the headliner. So the way that I do that is just quick hitting all these hits and getting it in and getting them hype. So when I started touring Duran Duran, I really had to think about my own visuals and came up with this logo with my homie Nacho from Argentina. And it's just been the logo that's been behind me during those Duran Duran shows, and decided to make some merch. And they're all available now on my website. And it's just something fun to rock when you're out in the world. FOMO Party started in 2014, and that was around the time I started DJing, and it was just a party that I wanted to do every month with my friends to so that I could get my practice in and meet other DJs. And something that was really important to me when we started was learning how to read a crowd, and so that was a party that I used to help me develop that skill. And we go for 6 hours in New York, so it's a lot of ebbs and flows and a lot of things you gotta do in the night to make sure that people are engaged and they stay, you want them to stay in the room, so that was, a mark of a really good party is when you can have people stay there from beginning to end, and that was the challenge that I was up for, and we did that for 5 years. So I did that party with Tab 10 and Yellow Tech from Baltimore. Man, it was the best times. I mean, if you know, you know. Trackademics was one of our guests, and that last year he joined on when we were on the road, and it was an era, man. It was the funnest time. I feel like that was my school, my DJ school. It was great to collaborate with other people, and that just made me better. So I encourage anyone who is starting out to DJ to throw your own parties. When we were doing our party FOMO, I would book DJs just to go back to back with them. Because it's such a fun, it's like having a conversation with someone. And yeah, when I was doing FOMO, I was just starting out, and that was my way of getting to know other DJs. And going back to back is a good way to do that. However, if it's a very short set time, then I'd take the hour. But if it's at the end of the night and there's like 30 more minutes left or something, we're winding down, I think it's fun to go back to back. The way I approach DJing might be similar to how a filmmaker approaches making a film. As a visual person, I like to imagine the space that I'm going to be in, the people that are going to be there, what else is happening in the world, and I let all those things inform how I show up in the room. Because it's about connecting with the people who are there, and you want them to feel that you see them and that you understand them and that you're here to take them away from whatever they're thinking about for just the next hour at least. And so I'm really just here to give you some relief for a little bit. I think it's important that we switch it up and keep it interesting, and remixes do that. But as someone who grew up in the Bay, I love my originals, but remixes are such a great way to bring life back into a song that used to be really, that used to be prominent in your life, and then you remix a song and bring it back to life, and it has a new context. Mixing it in with an original to let people know where the song came from. I think it's important to know our history when it comes to this stuff. Too much of anything is going to be not that great, so it's important to just switch it up. My friends inspired me to get into DJing. So I come from fashion. I used to work in fashion, and I was in a time of my life where I was hitting a little bit of a glass ceiling and I needed a change, and I guess the stars aligned, and a lot of my friends came through and heard that I was interested in changing it up. So I had a friend give me his tractor controller, and then I had another friend who was selling turntables and a mixer, and he was from Philly, and he drove it over to New York and was like, I'm trying to get rid of these. Why don't you take them? So I have this equipment. He gave me needles and control records, and I already had music, so all I had to do was plug in, and I guess I had no choice but to start, at that point. And at first it was a hobby, and then it just turned into something that I really enjoy doing. It was my friends, possibly the universe. I have a lot of favorite DJs. Man, I went to a party last night. It was really dope. It was in Chinatown, and Spinnerita was in town. She was there, Tricks a Million. They were both really dope. I really love DJ Umami out here. DJ Terra out in New York. Yuki Babe from Tokyo. JMKM from Toronto, Tittabite from Honolulu. There's so many. I'm friends with all of them, and they really inspire me. When we were at Elsewhere, we had that rooftop party with Mokosa Brooklyn, and we had Tidra Moses and Wajid on there with us, and it was a sunset set, primetime vibes. Oh, I'm so mad we didn't get video of it. I was like one of those like you had to be there. But yeah, good times. I think the perfect song is mixed well. And you know, I like pretty sounding things. So if it sounds pretty, I'm gonna play it. But you know, it also depends on the room I'm in. I think that my main goal to play the perfect song in whatever room I'm in is to pick the song that will bring everyone together, that'll have that moment for everyone where we're all breathing at the same time, we're all in this moment together and nothing else matters. And I think to me, that perfect song is gonna sound pretty and familiar. My DJ hot take, if you're just getting started, is to don't feel like you have to be like anyone or copy anyone, you can just be yourself. Today, I'm going to play some fun disco dancey stuff. We're gonna have some, you know, I like to follow the fun, so I'm just gonna have some fun today and see where this goes. Hey, this is Darling Chuck, and you're listening to ADP.FM.